Hello, in this video we're going to introduce how to use dashboard, general settings and operation properties. So we open a project first. So if you click the empty space, you can see the dashboard, which is project property. You can see the manage enzyme key link, and click this one. You can add more enzyme to the project. All the enzyme you add into the project will show in every map. So you can see the KPN1, BAMH1 in area of node. And you can also manage features here. Click manage feature, and you can see the feature tab. You can remove all of a selection, and you can add a new feature. You can select as a gene or mutation, whatever, and put the sequence or paste the sequence here. So that's how you manage the features. But basically, the easiest way is to manage the feature in the DNA view. So we're going to introduce the operation property. To show the operation property of a node, you need to select the node, and then the operation property will appear in the dashboard. And here the source, you can see this digestion use PAC18 as a source. You can select a source we already introduced before, and click the source or select source, press enter. You can change the source, and you can see the DNA through the view DNA link. Click this one, you can see the DNA tab, and check all fragments in this node. Here you can zoom the size of the DNA map. So you can set up as 2000 pixels per kilo base pair. So this just makes it easier for you to see small features. And in this DNA view, you can select the sequence and press Ctrl C in the keyboard to copy them. You can also select a feature, and press Ctrl C to copy them. And of course, you can paste them in a node tab or anywhere. And you can also define the restriction enzyme only for this DNA map. For example, we add XBA1, XHOL1 to it. You can see the XBA1 here. But that will disappear after you open it again. And in the operation property, there's also gel figure tab and the 16 results tab. So you can add your 16 results here, and you can also save the sequencing result. So MCDS can manage all the sequencing results for you. You won't lose the AB1 file. It's saved in the project file, and you can export it by click save here, and you can still get the AB1 file separately. So here we can add another sequence, and drag the scroll bar. You can see the date of the sequencing file. You can also add a gel figure as a PNG or GPG format, and export them. So now we can introduce the general settings. The general settings are all in the setting menu. So restriction enzymes, recombination sites, gRNA sites, manage codons, and manage digestion buffer. So for restriction enzyme, you can add enzyme here by clicking the add button, and you can edit the enzyme. For example, we add one enzyme here. You can see the new enzyme, and we tap new enzyme. You can see here, and we put the sequence AGG, AGGTCC, whatever. You can define the cutting sites. So this is for the 5' cutting, and this for the antisense cutting. And save it. But I don't really want to save this new enzyme because it doesn't exist. For the recombination sites, so you can see LOXP, FRT. Recombination usually come in a group. So for example, lambda ATTBP, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 different groups. So you can select one of the group and define the sequence, and define it as FBPLR. The F is for FRT and LOXP. BPLR are for the ATTBP-LR recombination sites. But you need to separate the LR and the BP because they are different direction. And we also support 5C31 because the 5C31 has two nucleotides which are N that determines the recombination specificity. So you can define the 5C31 sequence as with 2 N in the middle. And it's a BP here and LR here. LR, and we can see the LR sequence of 5C31. But to add a new restriction group, click add here, and you can tap name, for example, new group, and you can add a new size here, new site. You can tap the sequence ATT, NTTT, whatever, define it as a P, and cut them here. The cut label just specify the code sequence of the recombination sites. So for example, in the BP sequence, you have N here. This is not very typical. For example, lambda ATTBP, the code sequence are always the same because the algorithm use the digestion and the religation to link them together to perform the recombination. So you can see the code sequence of P is the same as the code sequence of B. So make sure you select the right code sequence for your new site. For gRNA, here I got an sgRNA here. You can define the scaffold for the sgRNA and define the PAM sequence and the target sequence. The targeted sequence is the 18 nucleotides recognized by the Cas9. It's actually 18N, and the PAM sequence is NGG. So here in the restriction enzyme view, you can define the cutting sites of the SG or the Cas9 enzyme. So the codon table. The codon table has a list of the organism from KEGG. You can click download, and the MCDS will download all the gene from KEGG and calculate the codon usage and the codon table for you. So for example, you can search ECO here, search, and we can find all the organism that contains the ECO. So we already have E. coli downloaded and set it as default. So it says set default here. And in digestion buffer management, you can see here we got a NEB digestion buffer table. You can add new buffers to here. For example, you want a new buffer and click add. There will be a list of new buffer, and you can add a new enzyme. For example, we want add XBA1 new, and it's going to use XBA1 as a template, because here is the alias name. You can see the SBA1 and there is a represents for S-bar1. Why we have the alias name system? Because NEB has the HF enzyme, which have different buffer specificity or activity. So we have to build two different alias for SPH1 and the SPH1HF or any other enzyme. You have another option but a different activity sets. So that's all about the dashboard, general setting, and the property operation property. Thank you.